The haunting embrace. In my younger days, I used to deliver newspapers to a woman named Margie. She was quite elderly, and my routine involved not just dropping off the paper, but also checking in on her. I'd walk into her home, place the newspaper on the table, and make sure everything was okay. One day, as I entered, I found Margie fast asleep in her bed. I silently left the newspaper on the table and exited the house. The following day, Margie was still sound asleep, and the newspaper lay untouched. Concerned, I repeated the routine. On the third day, Margie was finally awake, and to my surprise, she greeted me with great enthusiasm, expressing how happy she was to see me. She even hugged me, her frail arms wrapping around me tightly. However, the joyous encounter took a chilling turn the next day. As I approached Margie's house, I noticed an unusual number of cars parked in front. It turned out that Margie had passed away peacefully in her sleep 3 or 4 days prior. Somehow, on the day of her death, she had hugged me while already being in the realm beyond. The realization sent shivers down my spine. I couldn't fathom how I had interacted with Margie when, in reality, she had been lifeless for days. The memory of her embrace haunted me, the ghostly hug imprinted on my senses. From that day forward, every time I passed by her house, I couldn't shake the feeling of a spectral presence, as if Margie's spirit lingered. Whispers in the night shift. In the days of my employment at a hospital, I often found myself working the night shifts. It was during one of those eerie early morning hours, around 3 a.m., that an unsettling incident unfolded. Feeling a pang of hunger, I decided to head to the vending machine for a quick snack. As I approached, I noticed a glass door next to the vending area that looked into the cafeteria. Through the glass, I distinctly saw someone entering the cafeteria. I recalled the motion-activated lights inside the cafeteria that would turn on whenever someone entered, but to my dismay, this time the lights remained off, shrouding the interior in darkness. Curiosity overcoming caution, I ventured closer to get a better look. To my horror, I observed figures moving inside the cafeteria, walking directly into the solid wall. It sent shivers down my spine as I witnessed these spectral entities seamlessly crossing into the obstacle. In that moment, the memories of the motion sensor lights not triggering flooded back, and a cold realization dawned upon me. The entities I saw were not of this world. They were ethereal and moved effortlessly through physical barriers. Panic set in, and without a second thought, I sprinted away from the scene. I had never run so fast in my life, the chilling images of those ghostly figures etched into my mind. The hospital, once a place of healing, now harbored a secret realm that only revealed itself in the silent hours of the night. From that night forward, the memory of the spectral entities wandering the darkened cafeteria haunted my every night shift, a constant reminder that some things are better left unseen in the quiet corridors of the night. The Midnight Conundrum at St. Michael's Hospital. In the bygone years of my life, I found myself employed at the ominous St. Michael's Hospital. Night after night, I willingly succumbed to the eerie embrace of the graveyard shift. Little did I know that one fateful night would unravel a chilling tale, forever etched into the fabric of my existence. It was during the witching hour, around 3 a.m., that my craving for a late-night snack lured me to the vending machine. Nestled next to it was a glass door that peered into the cafeteria, a seemingly innocuous feature that would soon expose me to the supernatural underbelly of St. Michael's. As I approached the glass door, a flicker of movement caught my eye. I witnessed the silhouette of a figure slipping through the entrance to the cafeteria. An uneasy feeling settled in the pit of my stomach as I recalled the sensor-triggered lights that were supposed to illuminate the space upon entry. Strangely, the sensors remained dormant, and the interior of the cafeteria lingered in a shroud of impenetrable darkness. A hesitant curiosity overcame me, propelling me to venture closer. As I peered through the glass, my breath caught in my throat. Inside the cafeteria, shadowy figures moved with an unnatural fluidity. The bizarre spectacle unfolded before my eyes. These ethereal entities were walking directly into the solid wall, disappearing into the structure as if it were a mere illusion. A wave of terror washed over me, freezing my limbs momentarily. The ghostly figures seemed oblivious to my presence, their movements hauntingly deliberate. Panic set in, and an instinctual survival mode propelled me into a hasty retreat. The sound of my own footsteps became a frenzied rhythm as I sprinted away from the surreal scene, leaving the echoes of the inexplicable encounter reverberating in the empty corridors of St. Michael's Hospital. To this day, the memory lingers, a spectral enigma embedded in the recesses of my mind. The unanswered questions linger like a ghostly whisper, a constant reminder that some mysteries are best left undisturbed in the unfathomable depths of the night. Shadows of the Forgotten Asylum. In the forgotten corners of a desolate town, where time seemed to have halted, stood the remnants of an abandoned asylum. Once a place of healing, it had succumbed to decay and neglect, its crumbling walls echoing the tormented whispers of the past. In my insatiable curiosity, I, a young journalist named Alex, decided to explore the secrets veiled by the asylum's decaying facade. The moon hung low in the sky as I approached the looming structure, its windows shattered and doors hanging precariously from rusted hinges. The air was thick with a tangible sense of foreboding as I cautiously stepped over the threshold into the asylum's forsaken embrace. As I delved deeper into the asylum's dark corridors, the temperature plummeted, and the echoes of my footsteps reverberated through the hollow spaces. Shadows danced on the walls, manifesting into twisted shapes that seemed to whisper forgotten tales of suffering. It was as if the very essence of despair clung to the air, feeding off the anguish imprinted in the asylum's bones. In a secluded room, I stumbled upon a collection of patient records. Whispers in the Cradle. In the hushed corridors of maternal memory, my mother's tale unfolded, a chilling narrative from the depths of my infancy, a story that lingered like a ghostly apparition in the crevices of my subconscious. According to my mother, a night cloaked in darkness and infantile cries had set the stage for the inexplicable. As a mere babe, I had been particularly restless, my cries resonating through the stillness of our home. My mother, burdened by the ceaseless disturbance, reluctantly rose from her bed to check on me in my crib. The first few visits to my room were uneventful, as my mother tried to soothe my inconsolable cries. Fatigue, however, began to take its toll on her. On yet another sleep-deprived night, as I resumed my plaintive wailing, my mother, wearied and disheartened, mustered the strength to rise once more. Yet, As she stood alone in the dimly lit corridor, preparing to cross the threshold into my room, an unnerving revelation shattered the fragile veneer of normalcy. Above the chorus of my infantile distress, my mother detected the distinct sound of footsteps, footsteps that were not her own. A cold dread settled in her bones as she grappled with the realization that, by all accounts, she was alone in the house. The phantom footsteps persisted, leading my mother into a state of near madness. With each step she took, the echoes of unseen feet continued their macabre dance. As the ethereal footsteps finally ceased, a disconcerting symphony unfolded, a rhythmic creaking, the gentle sway of a cradle, and the tender, raspy whispers of an elderly woman. My mother, trapped in the grip of an otherworldly terror, strained to comprehend the inexplicable. The aged voice, like a spectral balm, sought to communicate with the wailing infant, me. It murmured words of comfort, offering solace to the inconsolable soul within the crib. The haunting memory persisted, an unresolved enigma that cast a pall over the ordinary moments of our lives. My mother's tale left an indelible mark, a lingering question that echoed through the corridors of our shared history. Who was the unseen presence that comforted me in the silence of the night, and what ethereal connection had been forged in the delicate intersection of infantile cries and spectral whispers? The answers eluded use, leaving behind a tale both mysterious and unsettling, an echo from the past that refused to be silenced.